Hail to the king, baby.
Hey guys, what's happening? It's Michael B, and it's not Monday, it's actually Thursday night. It's been a long day. We started the day off bright and early with what I can only say was one of the absolute worst uses of my time on YouTube ever, which was live streaming today's partner showcase, which was largely very disappointing. I mean, we did get some kind of joy at the end with the announcements from Square Enix, or as I like to call them, Squeenix, of some new 2D HD games coming. Of course, we've got the Tales of Elliot. I just I have no words for that name. It's got to be the worst name ever. I made a joke earlier about, like, can you imagine if Final Fantasy VIII was called The Tales of Squall, Forgetful Adventures? Basically, that's what the title is. Anyways, it looks like it could be very cool. It's a one-person hack and slash action adventure done in that 2D HD style. Then, of course, we got the surprise announcement of Octopath Traveler 0. That one looked pretty good, so not too bad. But then, of course, later on in the day, we had our episode of Pinball Bites, which is what I'm back here to talk about, and also want to have a little bit of a conversation about basic fun because of some information that's been provided over the course of the last couple days, and we may be mistaken about what basic fun is actually doing in 2025. So I just wanted to be clear about that and, kind of take back some of the excitement and enthusiasm I threw towards this because it might not be everything we thought it was going to be. Anyways, I want to say hello to the people that are here in the chat. Make sure I got everybody. Even more of a waste of time than bickering with nostalgia. Bobby, that's important. I do not appreciate that. Bickering with nostalgia is very important. Yeah, JJ, I saw that. The name of the Squeenix game is just plain awful. I have no idea. They're looking for feedback right now. My main feedback is change the name. Showcase may not have been great, but getting to hear you live from work this morning was yay! Mike Hawkerts, I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much for saying it. Rattlehead 1980 again. Woo! Woo to you too. Good point, James. What's all this Tekken talk? You clowns for real or just messing? Nah, we're just messing, man. There's no Tekken coming. Showcase was garbage. I agree. Michael B is streaming on a different night. Tekken XL confirmed. I just like messing with people in Discord. Good to hear since I missed it. I never get your notification this morning. J-Rod, you did not miss much. It was not good. B Kirby, good to see you as always. One night early. I usually do this on Mondays. Then I do Super Game Room Dudes on Fridays. Nova Sonic, good to see ya. We got into some of these chats earlier. JJ, commenting on Jason's tire choice during the stream, which is questionable at best. Want to make sure I got everybody here. Odd but cool, still holding a spot for WrestleFest. No need to be disappointed about WrestleFest. I'm not here to do that to you, brother. Jason Little Alien, big news. I've been bamboozled before. That's what we do here. We bamboozle people. Ritual Dello, aka Rotundo, giving a glass up to Brooklyn Menace, who is preceded by Brooklyn Menace himself. James hates everything. I love James' room tour. I actually wrote James because I planned on streaming tonight. I was like, what time are you streaming, dude? And he was like, 9 p.m. Eastern time. And I said, okay, good enough. So I scheduled my stream a little bit later. Then I check and he's like early and it's just like the camera's focused on his X Arcade. And I was like, what are you doing, man? So he apparently had a bit of a misfire here earlier. Striker Gauge, Iconic Arcade has my XXL money for 2025. I'm okay if Basic Fun's XXL line comes out in 2026. Well, that's kind of what we're going to be talking about tonight. I think that's the direction things are actually going to be going in. Dan Z, good to see you. Evan Fain, thank God it's not Monday. Monday's an awesome day. What are you talking about? Darren Kane, good to see you. Mr. Dude, how much? $599, my good man. Good to see you, Keith. Show Gecko, nice to see you as well. I got to make sure the chat is down. Hayden Do, since nobody's going to give you a Robotron, are you going to buy the G.I. Joel? Well, that depends. That's always the thing to say because I would absolutely love to support Joel. He's a good guy. I'm not much of a modder, so I don't really want to mess around with putting on side art and all that jazz. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Anyways, guys, let's get to some of the topics because I guess that's what you're here for. If not, just to hang out with me, I'm okay with that too. I like hanging out with you guys as well. So let's get into it. First up, let's talk a little bit of Pinball FX. So Pinball FX, oh, here we go. I jumped in on the buy stuff, 3-wheel deck and PC for my existing pedestal. Nephews and I are looking forward to 3-player MASH fully loaded. Nice! That buy stuff is super cool, but man, it's expensive. 17th favorite Canadian YouTuber. In G.I. Joel, I trust. Yeah, I don't blame you there. Anyways, back to Pinball FX. I want to talk a little bit about this. We had Pinball Bites today. Pinball Bites, they do an excellent job of showcasing what they got coming up. So the focus all today was on Williams Pinball Volume 9. Of course, we already knew the first game. Let me get it up on screen for you here, guys. So uno momento. I'm not using StreamYard, so it's a little bit different to me. I just want to make sure I got this done correctamundo. So, all right, we're going to try this. There it is. Look, it's even working. So a couple, weeks ago now, we actually got the first game coming out in this Williams pack, which is, of course, Pinbot. This was a much requested title. We had already got Bride of Pinbot, who you can see there on the screen on the side there now. So this is the original. People are pretty excited about this one, and so they should be. This is a very good ad for Pinball FX. So I'm pretty excited about that one. Then we were waiting on the other two. Mystery Encoder apparently knew all along, but not all of us did. Some of us only found out recently. So we actually got the other two games coming to Pinball FX today, and the hints they gave out were pretty on the nose. Like, they kind of gave it out like a mystery crime type one. And then the other one said, this game has 4 wheels. So it wasn't super hard to deduct. So let me see here. This is the one that I think everybody kind of guessed, and this is the one I'm the least familiar with. So people were excited about this, but I've actually never played it. So I'm excited to try it out, see what it's like for the very first time. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is in fact going to be Whodunit. Now, I never played Whodunit Pinball. It looks like a pretty simple table from everything I'm seeing, but people tell me it's really good. It's got good mechanics. It's got a good play field. I don't know. Well, I'll have to play it and see for myself, but yeah, the excitement online was really good today. That was nice to see. The mystery slots looks fun, and I mean, table looks super clean. It looks nice, so I'm excited. I think it should be fun. Whodunit is a nice table, Jason says. I'm refreshing at midnight, 12 a.m. on the 7th, going into the 8th. So yeah, Whodunit, it's pretty exciting. I don't know much about it. I really can't give you much more information than that. I'm just waiting for the screen to come back on. So Whodunit's coming out. This one's the complete mystery for me, which mystery, whodunit, right? Funny. Ha ha, LOL, funny. But Whodunit came out, so that was pretty interesting. But the one I'm the most excited about, the one I have the most experience with, there was actually one of these available here locally, and I almost kicked myself for not picking this up, but I just didn't have the money at the time. And that is the game that I was hoping for. I've been hoping for all along, which is Taxi. This is a game I absolutely love. Taxi is a stone cold awesome game. I think you guys are going to dig it. Long overdue for showing up on Pinball FX. I'm so glad they made this one. So these are the 3 games we're getting with Williams Pinball Volume 9. I know Pinbot's awesome. I know Taxi is super freaking awesome. And from everything I've seen, people said Whodunit is a real winner. So most of the responses I saw online today were people saying this is probably one of the best Williams pinball packs to date. So that's encouraging to hear. So very cool 3 games we're getting, but you're probably saying, Mike, I don't really give a shit about stuff coming to Pinball FX. I don't play it on my PC. I'm more of the kind of guy that I play stuff on, I'm waiting for stuff for my AtGames Legends Pinball 4K. I'm waiting for stuff for my MetaQuest to play on Pinball FX VR. Well, the good news about this, as they mentioned on Pinball Bites today, is not only are these games coming to Pinball FX on PC, which is Steam, Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox, all on the same day, August 14th, but they're also going global across the board. So not only are they going to show up on Pinball FX, they're also coming to Pinball FX VR right away. They're also coming to the AtGames Legends Pinball 4K right away. So you can pick your poison on August 14th, whatever way you want to play it. Whether you want to play Williams Pinball Volume 9 on a PC, your normal, Steam way of playing it, on a console, or more importantly and more exciting for us, either playing it on your AtGames Legends Pinball 4K or on the MetaQuest through Pinball FX VR, which is pretty badass if you haven't tried it out already. No, they said that about Tomb Raider Pinball was the last time they mentioned they were going to go for a global release, and it showed up day one, no issue. Hello, Charlie. Lucky, good to see you. This is a really good pack. Not sure I'd say the best. Yeah, I agree with that. Like, I really, really, really like Taxi, but I mean, come on. We had packs with Attack from Mars, Medieval Madness. There's a lot of quality here, a lot of good games, but I don't know about the best pack they've ever done. After they revealed Pinbot, I was hoping we were going to get High Speed and the comment to go with the Getaway and Hurricane. Yeah, I know. Like they said during the live that they're currently taking like suggestions. They're looking at the comments. They're looking at fan feedback, and they want to give us the games that we want to get. So while it's disappointing we don't always get those games, it's important to have your voice heard, and hopefully they'll come out and deliver. I mean, from the look of it, Williams Pinball Pack Volume 9 is going to be their release. Next release is more Williams, which we're going to learn about later in the summer. My fingers are crossed, super crossed, that the next Williams Pinball Pack is going to include the Elvira games. I mean, every single year we hit Halloween and Elvira's not on Pinball FX. I'm like, what the hell is happening? Why is this happening? So hopefully, hopefully we'll finally get Elvira, Scared Stiff, and Party Monsters on Pinball FX. Long time coming, right? All I want is T2, and then I can die happy. Yeah, I think we'd all like to see T2 there as well. That one's obviously a little bit more complicated. So I do want to just bring up a picture for you here now, guys, because I do want to show this. No, let me find the right one. So I downloaded their documents from their website a little bit earlier. Just got to find it. So take a look at the Taxi key art and tell me if you notice probably one of the biggest reasons why Taxi was so important to include with this pack. Take a look right there. You get Taxi, Santa Claus, Dracula, and there he is, Pinbot. How do you release a pack with Pinbot in it and not include Taxi? You know what I'm saying? So this was Kismet. It was meant to be. So very excited with the Williams announcements today. I'm excited to check these out on August 14th. So we'll see what happens. Taxi's the shit. Thank you very much, John Phillips. Completely agree. Yeah, I know. Now you can play it with the Team Encoder mod. However, it runs okay. That's the big issue with like the Team Encoder stuff with VPX, standalone VPX is incredible, but like not all the games run like 60 frames. So that's what you got to keep in mind. Yeah, they never announced that was coming to the AtGames Legends Pinball 4K day of. They said it was eventually coming out. The only time they've ever done a global release across all their platforms, AtGames and Pinball FX, before this was Tomb Raider. That's it. Well, I think we know why they left Marilyn out. If I'm not mistaken, they actually only made so many of the original Taxi Pinball with Marilyn on it, and then they did another run that took Marilyn out. So they had to. I don't know the whole backstory, but I'm guessing they were asked to take Marilyn out and eventually acquiesce. So not every official Williams Taxi Pinball machine out there actually has Marilyn on it. In fact, some of them, I think they replaced her with a girl that looks different, maybe has black hair. So I'm sure the girl with the black hair might eventually be in there, but I think they're just trying to stay away from that whole Marilyn fiasco with Taxi. Anyways, guys, if you're not here just to hear about the Pinball FX games coming today and the new Pinball FX games hopefully coming in the near future, you guys also probably want to talk about some basic fun and some stuff about basic fun that you might not have heard yet. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about here tonight. Just leave this out here. Just got to catch up here. All right. Just got all my notes caught up. So the reason I want to talk about basic fun tonight is right here. Neo Geo 64, popular Redditor, put a post up earlier this week. Yeah, they replaced her with Lola and kept her out too. Yeah, that's the interesting part. I understand keeping Marilyn out, but not Lola. August 14th. That's right, JJ. So anybody saying, "Oh my God, they're out today?" No, 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 no. August 14th. We got 2 weeks, guys, before these release, so we can all relax a little bit. There is some stuff that came out today. Actually, I'm gonna hold off on the basic fun stuff because I do got some other stuff I did want to talk about. So 1 second, we'll get to basic fun. But if you're a fan of ninjas, today was a very good day. I'm here for my. Jamie wrote me after my Nintendo Partner Direct live stream today, and he said, "I want my 30 minutes back." I don't blame you. I wanted my time back too, brother. So anyways, guys, if you're a fan of ninjas, some really cool stuff came out today. So Ninja Gaiden Ragebound actually released today. They've had, reviews up the last couple days with IGN giving it a 9. Not that that's worth anything, but it's pretty cheap. It's $29.95, 10% off right now. I'm literally going to pick this up after the stream and get into it. So pretty excited for Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. It's been a long time since we've had a 2D side-scrolling Ninja Gaiden game. Hope it lives up to the hype. But that's not the only classic ninja game we can get our hands on today. There is actually an available demo of Shinobi Art of Vengeance, free to download right now. So you can actually pick it up and do your best, play it whatever way you want it, check it out, see how it is. Also on my list to download later today. And I'm sure over the course of the weekend, I'm probably going to be streaming one or both of these at some point. I know P-Dubs, he's so antsy, and he gets so mad if you take away from his shine. Think about what happened last night. 19K Fox says, waiting on my physical copy of Ragebound. 19K Fox, congratulations for sticking to your physical stuff. I appreciate it. I'm not going to wait. I'm just going to play it tonight. But I'm very excited for both these games. I obviously was a big Ninja Gaiden fan all the way back in the NES days. I'm actually really good at the original Ninja Gaiden, except when the game fucking cheats towards the end when they changed the game. The game was too easy. So the Japanese version is actually much easier. But in the American version, it completely changes the rules and cheats you on the last stage, because if you die at all on the last stage, instead of giving you infinite continues and letting you continue exactly on the section you were, whether that's Act 1-1, 6-1, 6-2, or 6-3, it forces you to go all the way back to 6-1. Then on top of that, if you die against the boss, or it might be if you die on the final level at all, when you get to the last boss, there's 3 phases of the last boss. And if it's your first time, your health regenerates between phases. But if you die, every single time you get back to them, your health will not regenerate. So you have to float 1 life bar across the entire final boss fight. So the game fucking cheats. We all know multi-K, that is your fave. I didn't say you were a horrible human being. I said you were a crotchety old man because of the rap stuff. I didn't say anything like that. Honestly, man, I am so skeptical of what Sega is doing. I'm just happy that Shinobi doesn't look shitty. That's all I will say. Anyways, back to the basic fun stuff. I did want to talk about this. Neo Geo 64 was kind enough to put this out. He tagged myself, a bunch of other content creators, and here's all the official stuff we know about basic fun right now. So, cabinet-sized cabinets in time for Christmas 2025. So, here's the discrepancy between where we started with Basic Fun. Going back to the original interview that Basic Fun did with the Irate Gamer, they talked about having 5 titles, having 4 different form factors, and then it seemed like they were releasing all 5 titles in all form factors in time for Christmas 25. But as we get closer to that date and the more information comes in, it seems like that's not entirely true, specifically for the Supreme line, which is what I want to talk about tonight. Jim, the Pacers fan, you never have to be sorry. Just thank you so much for being here, brother. So anyways, here's the cabinets that we do know about. So this is a lot of information. I think, I don't know if I want to reveal Neo Geo's source, so I won't say it right now. But we're getting some countercades, a lot of Atari countercades, Asteroids, Tempest, Centipede, and WWE WrestleFest. Now in the deluxe size, which is their Ultra line. Now me personally, I like the Ultra line. It's the deluxe line, except a little shittier because it doesn't have a coin door. But it looks like we're getting Star Wars, Centipede, and WWE WrestleFest. So 3 of those games by Christmas 2025 are coming out. The previously talked about or announced Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and, of course, Pac-Man don't look to be coming out within this calendar year from Basic Fun. So that huge launch lineup of 5 games looks like we're down to 3. Then when we get to the XL and Supreme, we see Centipede and WrestleFest, and we have seen nothing else. So right now, there's a very big possibility we may only get 3 games in the deluxe line, and only 2 of those will make their way to the Supreme line. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which was another announced cabinet during the Irate Gamer interview, looks like that's going to fall towards 2026. We don't know if that's going to be Ultra, if that's going to be Supreme. We do not know the capacity of these. So I unfortunately am here to kind of take back a lot of the hype that, I kind of put out there originally, talking about, like, I was so excited about this because if you listen to the interview with the Irate Gamer, it seemed too good to be true. And as it turns out, it was too good to be true. We're not getting Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles XL 2025. we may not be getting a Star Wars XL 2025. That's to be up to debate. We have zero information on Star Wars. No one has seen the Ultra. No one has seen if there's a Supreme yet. So it's a little bit too early to say whether or not there's going to be an XL, but it doesn't look like it from the information we've seen so far. The only thing we know is from the Irate Gamer interview is that they are doing a Star Wars, but it's modeled after Return of the Jedi, and we know that could be problematic because Return of the Jedi certainly had a very different arcade shape than Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back, so we'll have to see what it's going to be. They did talk about some other licenses coming up in the future, a shooter and a racer, something they wanted to get in. Of course, we've also covered there was a shipment for a demo Mortal Kombat one come in, so maybe Mortal Kombat's another game they could do in the future. That's pretty much everything we know right now, so I just wanted to go over some of the pictures. Again, here's the Centipede, and like I mentioned, I am obviously all in on a deluxe Centipede. I think that's really cool. I miss my Centipede, but I'm not all in on a deluxe Centipede with a horizontal screen. Also, the other thing I don't like Basic Fun are doing, and they're doing this with a lot of their cabs, they seem to be pushing the artwork down towards the bottom of the cabinet and then putting a logo up higher. When you take a look at the Deluxe WrestleFest, it's something they have done as well. Paul, thank you for jumping in there. Star Wars is confirmed in a deluxe size, but not XL. The XLs are club store exclusives, and nobody knows what, if any, cabinets they've ordered. We do know officially about WrestleFest because that's the one they demoed, and we do know officially they're making a Supreme Centipede, which we'll get to in a minute. Me too, Paul. I'm still got sour grapes from a couple years ago when I stupidly sold my Arcade 1-Up Star Wars because somebody told me they were bringing Star Wars XL to Costco that year, but then that never happened for whatever reason. So then we look at WrestleFest, and this is, in fact, the Supreme WrestleFest. So this is a Supreme we know that's coming. So for those of you that want the bigger cabs, not only are you getting a bigger cab, you're also getting a brand new IP with that. They're also going to have this in the Ultra line. And there you can see the art on the side, very similar to what I talked about with Centipede. This side art on the original cab was more of a sticker up here towards the middle right here, kind of like on a Capcom cab. There was a sticker right there, but what they've done is they've taken the art, put it all the way down there, then put the logo there. I mean, I'm not going to be too choosy about it, but I don't love it. Anyways, this is the Ultra Series box for WrestleFest. Again, you can see the exact same thing with the art. Apparently really hard. None of these companies want to do it. Sons of bitches, Charlie. I don't understand why. So this is the Ultra Series WrestleFest. We know this is coming in an Ultra and a Supreme. Now, here's where the other verification of the other Supreme is. If you take a look at the Centipede, this is the Supreme series, we get a look at the games list, and it's pretty much the exact same games list from all the other Atari, Arcade 1-Up cabs, except for Atari 50th. You've got Centipede, Tempest, Asteroids Deluxe, Millipede, Crystal Castles, Space Duel. Is that Space Duel? Yeah. Major Havoc, Missile Command, oh my god, Gravatar, Arca Liberator. What is this one? I can't read it. It's so a Lunar Lander and whatever the hell this red one is. I can't read it. I've had so much trouble with that, Jay. I love that cab. I don't want to ever let it go. I need more WWE logos. No, we don't need that. What is that? I literally can't read it. Yes, I see Space Duel, but what's the red one there? Super what? Anyways, the thing that kind of bothers me about this, obviously, I'm concerned because of the artwork on the smaller cab. I've always wanted like a Centipede XL. That's a dream come true. But I'm a little concerned about the artwork, that the artwork is not going to be super arcade accurate. We'll have that awful Atari logo up higher. The other thing that really bums me out, but you knew this was going to happen, it's the rule of 80-20. And that is, this actually has a horizontal screen instead of a vertical. And unless this is just, one of those images that's just a render, that's Centipede on the screen and it's stretched out in the 4x3. Thank you, B. Kirby. That's what I thought it was. Supreme makes me hungry for a burrito, Supreme. Thanks, guys, for helping me with my shite eyesight. So, I mean, the real disappointment that I wanted to talk about is the fact that it looks like instead of the 5 XL cabs we thought we were going to be rocking by the time 2025 hits, looks like it's only going to be 2. And of the 2, obviously WrestleFest looks really good. We don't know the games list, but that's the one that's really the awesome choice here. For me, I mean, I think Centipede, if they change the artwork, could still be good. I mean, it's not perfect with the horizontal monitor, but maybe, just maybe with a 19-inch screen, the, squat vertical games on it won't seem so bad, as long as they didn't stretch them like Arcade 1-Up did on their Tempest Legacy cab. So we'll have to see about that. It could be good. It could be really shitty. Whoa, 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 whoa. Get out of there. Look at all those women. Woo. So anyways, guys, I kind of want to get your feedback. What do you think of that? Are you happy with the fact that Basic Fun is literally doing anything? Are you happy they're bringing us a new IP? Or are you kind of like me where maybe we assumed too much or we expected too much, or maybe we went off too much when they gave us a very simple interview to Irate Gamer and maybe went a little bit further along in the plan than maybe they were supposed to? I mean, if you go back to the original Toy Book interview, you can clearly see the 2 games they were focusing on were in fact WrestleFest and Centipede. And as we get closer and closer to that Q4 date, when these cabs are supposed to make an appearance, it looks like at the end of the day, and for 2025, that may be all they have to offer. Sathius, good to see ya. Paul, yeah, and Paul, like, you got a pretty limited space there, too. If I'm not mistaken, you got, like, 3 XLs and that wall multicade. So, I mean, I can understand you being cautious with what you pick up. Like, for me, WrestleFest, 2 possible, hopefully 3 XLs, and more in 2026. I'm patient. I figure most people are going to say that anyways. I can wait. It's not that big of a deal. It's just good to see another company competing. It's a little disappointing, though. It feels kind of like a broken promise. Like, there was so much hope, so much excitement when they did that Irate Game interview. Like, this new company, how bold, how brazen, going to push into this market that Arcade 1-Up has controlled for, years now, and just push in and be like, we got tons of titles and we are just pushing in. So for them then not to follow up, and it looks like it's only going to be 2 Supreme cabs, maybe 3 Deluxes, kind of feels like it's not what we thought it was. A little bit disappointing, but at the same time, I'm fine waiting. I mean, I don't mind waiting if it's like a couple months. Like, if we got to wait all the way till Q4 next year, that's going to be a disappointment. Absolutely. Evan Fain says, I'll wait. Keeping good thoughts for you, Michael B, to get another Star Wars. Thank you very much, Video Game Vegas. I do have a little bit of news about that. Just a little bit of following up. Yeah, I know. Costco usually has its port data lined up. We know what we're getting in Canada. Deluxe cabs. Yeah. So Canada is getting F'd in the B again this year. So instead of XLs or anything cool, at least Arcade 1-Up's doing something. They're bringing over Pac-Man, Mortal Kombat, and Golden Tee Deluxe, which are going to be available in Costco. It's something, so we'll see. I don't know. I do not blame you, man. Football is back. Fill your boots, man. Do what's most important to you. Completely understand, Rotunda. I hope so. I hope WrestleFest makes tons of money and it's not the kind of failure Blitz was. I don't think anything is really nerfed in this one, other than the fact they can't use the WWF logo. It looks like they've got all the character licenses necessary, so we're not going to be missing any characters. And on top of that, they're offering some other games too, so that should help with replayability. I think WrestleFest stands a very good chance at being a very well-selling arcade for basic fun. Paul Mindeman says, personally, I think Iconic holds more promise, and that's what we'll get into here now. I do want to talk about that because Iconic does do one thing for me that no one else does. So the other big thing with basic fun that has come from my conversations with Neo Hyper 64 is a little bit of information we kind of already knew. The Supreme line is not going to be available at regular retail. So far, the only retailers, only cabs that retailers have been able to touch in any capacity or look to order from Basic Fun are in fact the Ultra line, aka the Deluxe line. I've confirmed this with the Brick. They told me it's just the Ultra line. That's what they're going to be bringing in. They didn't even hear about the Supreme line. I told them about it. They didn't even know that existed. So the Brick had no clue about it. And also, from what we can tell, retailers like Spreetail, Walmart, all those other people, they've only been able to touch the Ultra line. So that means only club stores, like they said originally, are going to be getting the Supreme line. So if you get a Sam's Club membership or you have a Costco membership, you'll be in luck, or you can order them online and I think pay a little bit of a charge. Zero Redux, according to my sources, Q4 2035 looks promising. I can't wait. I'll definitely still be alive then. No, definitely will not be. So the only good thing, really good thing about Iconic Arcade is they're the only company out of these big three arcades that I can confirm made their larger XL products available in Canada. So Arcade 1-Up, we have no idea whether or not they're doing any more XL cabs. Like, we'll find out in the next couple of weeks. If there isn't something that shows up in Costco by September, it's safe to say that there is no XL coming this year from Arcade 1-Up. I was hoping the Canadian news would be that. It wasn't. A little bit of a kick in the nuts, but it is what it is. Going by what happened with Arcade 1-Up, I'm dubious on whether or not Basic Fun will bring their XL line out here in Canada. But I'm also hopeful because a lot of things have changed from previous years. Like one, for example, Stern Pinball brought out their Jurassic Park home pin, which was slightly available in Canada, but not widely available. This year, they've released their Star Wars pin, and I can actually order it online. I can get it shipped to my distributor, which means bigger products now are making their way and can be shipped across the country. So that means if there is a limited release of, like, say, a Supreme title from Basic Fun that makes its way to Costco Canada, even if it is in limited stores, I still may be able to order it. So that gives me some hope. But Iconic's the only one that are actually taking the XL product, the bigger size product, and trying to sell it direct to consumer or through retail. We know that Spreetail is working with our Iconic Arcade. They've already picked some up. The rumor is there's nothing on the horizon, but they possibly ordered some more stuff. So we'll wait to see what it is. A lot of people are kind of floating around a rumor it's Tekken XL, so we'll have to see about that. Yeah, we need a 1-Up replacement, or at least someone to challenge them to stop making cabs so goddamn thin. Yeah, and I will go back on it based on what I saw from Terminator 2, and with the new Tron movie coming out, I really think there's a very good chance. Awesome, Rattlehead. Yeah, I had a shot at one. There was a guy here locally selling a taxi for about 3 grand, and I just couldn't save up the money at the time and couldn't pull the trigger. And I also didn't know if I wanted to pull the trigger because this was before I bought my Godzilla, and I was like, do I really want to jump into pinball with the first table I see, or do I want to save up and get my dream table? So I did. Then I tried to save up and get the Taxi, but it was sold by that time. So I ended up getting the Dungeons and Dragons, which is a cool fucking table. But I will say, if I had bought Taxi as my second pinball machine instead of Dungeons and Dragons, there's a very real possibility that I would still have Taxi. I will tell you that for sure. I'm all in on an iconic arcade Street Fighter. Another company refuses to go to Canada, so Mike wants to kill the hype. I'm not trying to kill the hype. I didn't say that they refuse to go to Canada. I'm just saying that it's likely, based on what happened with Arcade 1-Up, they may not come here, but I have newfound hope because of the new Star Wars pinball machine. What time did this show start? I have no friggin' idea, guys. No friggin' idea. So anyways, that's my little bit of news. That's called the FU Factor, P-Dubs. It's a stupid name. So anyways, guys, that's really all the news. It's not meant to be a super long stream. Just two topics I wanted to talk about. Of course, the new games, Williams games coming to Pinball FX, which I'm super excited for. Pinbot, I don't know much about who done it, but I've heard great things, especially today. And Taxi's a game I absolutely love. So yeah, I'm very happy about that, and super happy that it looks like they're going to be released on Pinball FX VR and on AtGames Legends Pinball 4K on the same day. And I'm hopeful because that was said, but I do want to caution. I mean, AtGames have been like super quiet lately. Like, we have no information on August releases. All the July releases were delayed. So we'll have to wait and see on that. I'll put an asterisk by the AtGames Legends Pinball 4K release because of everything else going on with it. Leave me alone about F1. I don't want to see F1. He writes me all the time. He's like, you got to see F1. It's in IMAX now. You got to see F1. And then, of course, the basic fun news. P-Dub says, I'm killing the vibe. I'm not. I'm trying to tell people that our original hope for the 5 cabs coming out in the 4 different form factors, based on the Irate Gamer interview originally, may have been a little too hopeful, may have been a little bit early, because it looks like the closer and closer we get to quarter 4, it looks like the only 2 cabs coming in the Supreme form factor are in fact going to be WrestleFest, which is a really good thing. And then, of course, a Centipede XL cab has a horizontal monitor, but it might not be all that bad if they fix the art compared to the Ultra cab. And if they don't, stretch the picture on the horizontal picture on that 19-inch screen, it might be very good to play. So we'll have to see. I will not watch F1 in theaters. If I ever watch F1, which is a very good chance, I'll probably never watch it. But if I do, it'll show up on a streaming service, and me and my wife will be desperate to watch something, literally anything, while we eat with the kids. That's the only way I'll see F1. Like, I just don't get time to watch a lot of movies, and like, it's really got to be something special for me to spend time on it. So anyways, guys, that's all I got for tonight. Just a quick jump in, share some news with you, hang out with you guys on this Thursday night. Yeah, Thursday night. We'll see you tomorrow for Super Game Room, dudes. I'm going to go download Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, which is currently 10% off on Steam. So I'm going to grab that. I'm going to grab the demo for Shinobi. And I got to get back to Visions of Mana. I'm right at the final boss on Visions of Mana, so I can finally finish that. Get back to Donkey Kong Bonanza. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for hanging out for a little while this Thursday. We will talk to you guys tomorrow on Super Game Room, dudes. Have a great night, everybody. Thank you very much. I mean, you're not wrong, P-Dubs. Like, if these companies want, my blessings and want me to be positive about their product and maybe even review it one day, it would help if they brought it here. Absolutely not. 1000% not. See you guys. Cammy, have a good night. Good to see ya. Bye, everybody.